Hello, amazing online crew. How are we today? I hope you're having an awesome day, whatever part of the day it is for you. We're going to talk about Facebook today. Some stats about Facebook, some really interesting information. Well, I think it's interesting and I thought I'd share it with you. So I hope you're going to find it interesting, this information that I'm going to share with you today. So it's not necessarily going to make a massive difference to your business, but it's sort of very interesting information to know. And because of this kind of information that I'm going to share with you is sort of can give you an indication of what you really need to concentrate on the Facebook sort of platform to maximize, engagement for you. Okay, so hopefully you'll get something out of today's live. If we've not met before, my name is Helen Martin. I'm your online crew captain. So we have the most amazing online crew community here of home-based business owners, entrepreneurs, direct sellers, those in MLM, network marketing. And what we do here is bring our businesses online and learn to leverage social media with modern online strategies. So this is coming into the modern world of social media. We don't have to build our businesses the old school way, the traditional way. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If it works for you, that's awesome. But we have this amazing thing called the internet and social media. And when we truly learn how to leverage it and attract people to us, it's a really, really good tool for you to grow your business. So that's what we do here. Now, who have we got with us here? I do want to remind you guys, those of you that, a couple of things, actually, just a couple of updates. Those of you that are in my 21-day online crew video challenge, just so you know, if you haven't seen it in the group, there was the security settings changed on the tracker. I didn't change them, so I don't know how anybody else managed to change them, but it locked you all out. So you're all trying to request private permission to the tracker. So I saw all these alerts come on and I was like, what's going on? So I went in and it had been changed to only me. So nobody could see it, and I didn't change it, so I got no idea how it happened, but I've changed it back again. So any of you that were, concerned as to why you'd been locked out, I haven't locked you out. There was just some kind of weird technical glitch, and it should be okay and good to go now. If it's not, certainly somebody let me know. And in 2 weeks' time, I'll share more details with you next week, but I am doing a business boost bootcamp. So if you need help with your business page, getting it up and running, getting more engagement, interaction, getting more fans and followers and everything to do with business pages, then you might want to join us in our coaching community. The link to that is above, so you can have a look at that if you want to. So who's on with me today? Oh, I'm not sure. That's not you, Gloria, is it again? Gloria's had problems with gaining access, but I'm not sure who that is. I do know that you're watching from my group. So when you watch from my free group, so I'm broadcasting into different places, my business page and my free group, which is called Social Media Strategies for Home Business Owners. When you watch from the group, you need to give StreamYard permission for me to see who you are, because it's not public, it is a group. Okay, so there's a link at the bottom above, StreamYard Facebook link. You just need to click on that and give permission. So I'm not sure if that's Gloria or not, because she's had some troubles. Oh no, did Kirk Douglas pass away? I've obviously missed that. I haven't looked at any news reports today. It's morning in my part of the world and I have not stopped since I got up. I've calls and all sorts of things. I've got lots of messages and emails and all sorts of things to catch up with. That's obviously one of that. Hannah, how are you? We got Matthew. How are you, Matthew? Adita, hello. Good morning to Patricia. I know it's morning in her part of the world. Another one. So just give StreamYard permission for me to see who you are. So good morning, whoever that is. We've got Olive and Renee. We've got Anya. Good to see all you guys on. Good morning, Patricia. We've got Teresa and Tiffany and Lynn and Benessa and Edith. How is everyone going? Have you had a good day, or have you sort of had a little bit of a good day? Some of you would only be starting your day. We got Mitch on. We've got Edith, if I pronounced that right. So Facebook user, that's me. Who's me? Put your name at the end of it. Is that you, Gloria, again? StreamYard's playing games with you, if it's you. I'm not sure. It worked yesterday. Hi, May. How are you? I know I love Kirk Douglas and his movies. So do I. Doing great. Good to hear. Judy and Bob, hello. We've got Ram on. We've got Shirley on. I could just keep going on all day and just talk to you guys. But let's get into the content for today. So welcome, everybody. Certainly, if anybody is new here, please let us know, because so we can give you a massive welcome to our community here. So Facebook is a platform. Unlike other platforms that are sort of have, they go up and they go down, like there's trends, I guess. Facebook is always continually adding monthly active users. So it is always growing. At the moment, what's the number? I've got a whole lot of stats here. It's 2.41 billion now. So 2.41 billion monthly active users. So there's just more and more people joining this platform. So in relation to growing a business on social media, and there's this, debate around, should you just grow on one platform or should you grow on multiple platforms? I'm not really strong on an answer on that, other than you've got to take into a number of things into consideration. So one of those things would be your time. So if you want to do multiple platforms and you've got the skill and you've got the time, go for it. But if you don't, which most people don't, it would probably be better to concentrate on a couple of platforms, do them really well, and then just, repurpose your content and grow on other platforms. So it really depends on who you are, how much time you've got, what kind of skill level you've got on the various different sort of platforms. So I guess the big thing to consider is to not spread yourself too thin and do a little bit of a lot of things not very well, or, a few things, like a few different places, or a couple of places, concentrate on those, get really good following maybe there, and then maybe go into other platforms. So it depends on who you are, your time, your energy, and your skill level. So all that needs to be taken into consideration. The one thing I would another thing I should say is to put into the mix is, with Facebook, you think about growing only on Facebook or only on one particular platform. So that's it for you, just one particular platform, and something happens to that platform. So you haven't been repurposing content anywhere else or growing a following anywhere else, and something happens to that platform. Say you get shut down or kicked out or something like that. I guess a good question to ask yourself as well is, would your business shut down overnight if the one platform that you're on is the only place that you are? Like something I do with all these videos. So some of you may know this, some of you may not, but every single Facebook Live that I do, like the 5 that I do a week, every day I upload those videos to YouTube. So let's say my business page just got shut down here. Like, could you imagine 5 videos a week, every week for, I don't know how long I've done that, but, there'd be a good, coming up maybe a couple of years worth of content. They're 5 days a week. I mean, there's content longer than that. But if all my training just disappeared because my page disappeared, or I couldn't get access to it, or something like that. And this is happening more and more in our particular industry. So by uploading all these videos, so yesterday, the day before, it's all on YouTube. Go and subscribe to my channel. There's a link to it on my website, which is helenmartinonline.com. All my training is sitting over there. So if something happens here, I haven't lost all the training that I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours crafting for you guys. So we do need to take that into consideration as well. You don't want to be fearful of it or to stop you growing on this platform, but particularly in our industry, guys, there's a lot of people that, when you move into the world of Facebook advertising, that one, if you don't know what you're doing with Facebook advertising, or you're using the wrong language that annoys or offends against Facebook policies, then you could find yourself in a position that you don't want to be in. So there's some of the things to sort of consider regarding where you should be. At the end of the day, Facebook is the biggest, and it is considered the most influential and the largest reach. So although other platforms are awesome, Facebook is still considered to give you the biggest reach and the biggest influence of platforms, supposedly. Okay, so others of you might argue, that other platforms do that, and for certain individuals, they will. Okay, but let's have a look at some of the stats, which I find really, really interesting. Okay, how long do you think people are spending a day on Facebook, just on average? There's stats for this, which I'll share with you in a minute. And interestingly, it's going down, guys. It's not going up. So life is getting busier and busier and busier for people, and they're doing multiple sort of things, and people don't just have the time to sit around and scroll like they used to. So I guess it kind of makes sense with the busy lives that we all lead. We're always doing something. There never seems to be enough hours in the day. Well, not for me. Anyway, but you know, what do you think? Like an hour, 2 hours, 15 minutes, 30 minutes? You know, what do you think? What do you think? So I will tell you, has anyone got any tips? I'm just looking at a couple of comments here. Jan, I'm starting to upload my videos to YouTube too. Even if you don't want to use YouTube as a YouTube platform, like I don't promote YouTube as a proper YouTube platform. Like I don't format them in, you know, most of the way that people do that are YouTubers. I'm using it as a storage tool. But if somebody wants to have a really quick snapshot of all my training and the headings and what might help them, from a Facebook algorithm to branding to social media stats to, you know, whatever it is, you could go to my YouTube channel and you just scan the headlines and it's all there. Like I use it more of a storage tool. I am going to get into it a little bit more because I think there is merit in the YouTube advertising and things like that. So yeah, May. Is there any possibilities that YouTube will shut you down like Facebook? Not as much of a risk. You know, it's just well known, guys, that Facebook, it with its policies, it does not like anything that looks like, feels like, sounds like a money-making opportunity and MLM, network marketing, that kind of thing. You know, any kind of money-making sort of opportunity, it's in their policies now. Like anything that slightly sort of promotes that, then shut down. YouTube's not quite like that. It is a search engine where people are actually putting in, how do I grow an MLM? How do I grow like a side business? How can I work from home? People are searching for that information. So it's just a totally different beast. So to answer your question, May, not the same way in Facebook. I mean, I'm sure there's people that get their YouTube channels shut down for some reason, but you know, not like the environment that we are in here. 3 hours. So 3 hours daily. I'm over 3 to 4 hours for sure, Gloria. So it is you, Gloria. What's up with StreamYard with you, Gloria? You were here yesterday. They've shut you out again. They're not letting Gloria get access to StreamYard for some reason. 4 hours. Gee, you're all around the same. 4 hours. An hour in average. William, 8 hours. 8 hours a day on Facebook. My gosh, you'd get nothing done. 1 hour and 45 minutes, Marcel is saying. Too many hours, Lynn is saying. Adita, I didn't hear the full question, but I think about 3 hours. So I'm just asking, what do you think on average would be the time frame per day? Okay. So what it was in 2016 was on average about 50 minutes a day. So close to an hour. 2018, statistically, it went down to 41 minutes a day. And it's unofficial, but Facebook, so it's not statistically based, but unofficially, the research is showing so far that in around sort of 2019, 2020, it's around 38 minutes per day. So remember, this is an average. So you're going to have people that far exceed that, and you've got others that really don't care about Facebook, but they're on Facebook. So that's the average. Okay, probably you guys that are here into social media and a lot of your networks and contacts, you guys are probably in the upper range. But on average across the board, about 38 minutes a day. So if you think about that on average, and you're trying to grow fans and followers and all the rest of it on Facebook, how important is for you to give out really good content and get people's attention? Because Facebook is just going to get noisier and noisier. People's time is going to get less and less. So there's a trend since 2016 of people spending less time on Facebook. So people have got less time to scroll, and it's a more competitive environment. So this is across the board, obviously, with all social media platforms. People have less time, but it's getting more competitive because social media is the way to go. There's so many advantages when you know how to use it properly, and it can afford you amazing opportunities. But you've got to be really smart, guys. You've got to learn to be more intentional with your businesses and the content that you put out and the brand that you develop, all those kind of things, because you've got to make it count while you're there. So there's still so many people that set up business pages and it's just like, I'm here, come and find me. And here's a picture of my cat, and here's a picture of my son and my daughter, and this is what I did on the weekend, and yet it's meant to be a business page. So unless you're really intentional about what you're doing, you can waste a lot of time on social media. We don't want that for you, okay? So here's some more stats. 3 million people use Facebook stories daily. Who is not embracing Facebook stories yet? Are you using Facebook stories? I hope you are using Facebook stories. If you are not using Facebook stories, trial, error, get in there, play with it, fumble around with the features. It's the best way that you'll learn. Embrace Facebook stories, because this is what we call ephemeral content. And this is what Mark Zuckerberg has said he's moving towards. We're going to be moving more towards content that disappears rather than stays in a news feed. We're going to be sort of scrolling like this, and people will, information will disappear. But I'm telling you, Facebook stories is a major growth area, and it's definitely an area that you want to be focusing on, and it gives you the ability to create more curiosity and intrigue about what it is, what you're up to, who you are. People can get to know you, like, and trust you through your stories, through what you do, just little things about what you do day and night. Like yesterday, what was I doing yesterday? Oh, yesterday was another massive day for me, like talking, training, calls with students, just on it. Like my head was about to explode in the afternoon. But I still had trainings to download and things to upload and things, like I still had a million things to do. And it's like, I can't afford to stop, but I need a break here. So I went downstairs to my gym. I'm walking on the treadmill, but I took my computer with me, and because my dad made me a bench that goes across the top of the handles of the treadmill. So I'm walking on the treadmill while I'm answering to your comments yesterday on the Facebook Live. So I was answering all your comments because that was the first time, the opportunity I could get to it. And I just shared that in stories. Like it just, you guys get to know a little bit of the weird and wacky things that I do. It helps you get to know me. So Facebook stories, guys, is really, really powerful. And it's a major growth area. 300, did I say 3 million? Or 300, I can't remember what I said, but it's 300 million use Facebook stories daily. So major growth area, make sure you're using Facebook stories and create curiosity, intrigue. Have things up about that insinuates that you're in this, in this industry, in this world, that you've got a business on the side. You can have little quotes, love working from home, or, whatever it is. You can create lots of curiosity and stories that you may not necessarily create in the newsfeed. And they are two totally different algorithms. So we get more exposure out of Facebook stories, supposedly, than we do the newsfeed. Okay. But there's still, not much data on Facebook stories that I've found anyway. Okay. Just a little tip for the day, a fun fact, I guess you could call it, is Facebook turned 16 this year. So that's how old Facebook is, 16 years old, okay, and growing and growing. This is really interesting. Seniors are the fastest growing group of Facebook users. Isn't that interesting? But what I gleaned from that is the popularity and technology that's being innovated. Like those of you in the younger age bracket, or you've got grandkids or kids that are playing around with TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat, and the younger generation are being drawn to those kind of platforms more than the Facebook platform. So there's more of the older generation joining Facebook, and the younger generation are moving to different platforms, which is interesting for you guys to know, depending on your target market. So where, what's a really important question for you guys to ask yourself is, where are my people hanging out? What is the age bracket of the people that I'm trying to attract, and where are they hanging out? And, that's where you sort of need to be. Okay. I also found interesting that 74% of high income earners, now their definition of high income earners was 75,000 or above. So an annual sort of income of 75,000 or above was considered a high income earner. And 74% of those high income earners are hanging out on Facebook. It wasn't the highest one though, guys. So the highest income earners in that bracket are hanging out on YouTube, interestingly. So it was YouTube, Facebook. So 74% of high income earners are hanging out on Facebook. And the one underneath that was LinkedIn, which makes sense. And that really makes sense to me. YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So interesting. So it's their preferred platform is how it's been quoted here. So 1.4 billion people use Facebook groups. So depending on your business, if your company has got groups or you've set up a group, 1.4 billion people use Facebook groups. Groups create a sense of community, and that's what Mark Zuckerberg wants. So groups is a really good avenue to tap into if it's relevant to you. The last thing I would say to you is go and just create a group just for the sake of creating a group. But if you've got a purpose and a strategy around, and a funnel to lead people into the group, and you've got a purpose for the group, then, groups can be really, really beneficial for you and your business. Okay. 42% of users, this is interesting. 42% of users took a break from Facebook last year. 42%. That's almost 50% of people took a break from Facebook. And they're not saying just days, several weeks. So, I don't think that's a bad thing to have a bit of a detox every now and again, from Facebook or any kind of social media platforms. I can't really do that because this is my business. Like we're a different breed here. If we're trying to build our business online, then we kind of need to be there and show up. But I also know, influencers that will announce, I'm taking a break. It may not be several weeks. It might only be a week, but, social media detox I honestly think it's not a bad thing. So, yeah, I found that really interesting that 42% of Facebook users took a break from Facebook last year. So sometimes I think we just need to get back to, nature and birds and sunshine, and if you've got it around you and things like that, and just really truly work out what's important. Just ground ourselves, I think. Michael, I'm just picking up on a comment here. Can you put up more than one story at a time, or do you have to space them out? You go your hardest with stories. Go your hardest. So we say in the traditional sort of news feed, maybe 2 to 3 posts a day is enough for the news feed. Because like I said to you guys yesterday, if you've missed yesterday's live, go and watch yesterday's live regarding, what I talked about then. And this is sort of in line with what I sort of talked about yesterday in relation to posts competing with each other. So there's about 3,000 pieces of content a day. Facebook's got to work out about 300 to put in front of you, and so we don't want to put too many posts on social media because it's just going to go dead. Like you won't get any organic reach out of them, and your own post will compete with your own post. That is not the case in Facebook stories. If you want to put up 10 Facebook stories a day, go for it. It disappears anyway. It doesn't stay there. It only lasts there for 24 hours. You don't have to space them out. You could do 2 or 3 in the one time and then just not do any for the rest of the day. It really doesn't matter. But multiple stories is a really good thing to do. Multiple posts in the newsfeed is not a good thing to do. Okay, so as I said, totally different algorithm, totally different sort of strategy, even if you like. Okay. So Pimki, can you post stories on your business page? Yes, you can, as long as you've got the facility to do that. So some people still struggle with having access to that. How you know if you can do it is if I go to my business page and you can you see that my profile picture is a circle and I have a plus. So if I click on that, so this is my business page. If I click that plus, then I can create a story. If your business page has a square profile picture with no plus, you can't do stories yet. for some reason. It could be your country, it could be the age of your phone, it could be the type of phone. There could be many different reasons why you can't do it. Some people get access and then the access is taken away. But yes, majority of people should be able to do Facebook stories on a business page, which is also an awesome thing to tap into to create curiosity, intrigue, and interest in what you're up to and let people get to know you as a person on a business page through your stories. Absolutely. So awesome strategy to use. Okay, where was I? Took a break. This is interesting. Only 24.6% of Facebook pages uses paid strategies. Only 24.6% of Facebook pages, business pages, use paid media, paid strategies. So, you know, when people say, oh, don't start a business page because it's only pay to play, there's only 24% of business pages that are actually paying. Majority of business page don't do Facebook advertising. So you can grow organically if you want to. If you want to speed things up, do Facebook advertising. Like, there's no doubt about it, but don't do it unless you know how to do it. Like, get the skills, learn how to do it before you do it. Don't just do it because you think it's a good thing to do or because Facebook puts in front of you this big blue button that says boost. Or it sends you a notification that says, this post is doing 95% better than every other one of your posts. You should boost it or whatever. Like, don't give into that kind of stuff. Learn the skill, then do it. And when you know the skill, it can work to your advantage. But you don't have to. It's just going to take you a hell of a lot longer to build organically. But it doesn't mean you can't. It does not mean you can't. You just have to be really, really smart about what you're doing in your business page, even more so than somebody that's advertising, because you've got to rely on 100% sort of organic reach, okay? So either way works, but paid strategies just help speeds everything up a little bit for you. Okay, so some stats regarding, is this interesting, these stats? Let me know whether you're finding this interesting. So Facebook ad stats, yeah, this is interesting. Well, I need to stop saying that because I just find it all interesting. The average price for an ad decreased 4% in Q2 in 2019. So the average price of an ad actually went down, which, I mean, to do Facebook ads like 4 years ago was so cheap and effective. Now we've got all these restrictions. There's all these policies that we could be offending, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it's generally getting more expensive. But last year, the average price went down by 4%. Which is, yeah, I'm not sure if it will stay that way, but I will take it, those of us that advertise. An average Facebook user clicks on 11 ads per month. How does that sit with you? Do you know how many ads that you click on, how many ads that you see in your news feed? Have you ever sort of even taken notice of that, of what grabs your attention and what you click on? Because just remember, whatever you click on, you're going to get more of. Took me a little while to work that out when I first went online and I wanted to know it all. And I wanted to follow everybody, and I'm clicking on their stuff and searching this person and that person and all the rest of it. And then suddenly I'm getting inundated with all these Facebook ads. They're all selling something, and I bought it all because I wanted to know how to do everything. So just remember, unless you use the new tool to clear your history, that everything you click on is being tracked. But on average, apparently, we all click on about 11 ads a month, okay? Here's an interesting one for those of you that advertise. 94% of Facebook advertising revenue comes from those advertising to mobiles. So those of you that are doing Facebook ads, 94% of the Facebook advertising revenue is just targeted at mobiles. So I don't know what you guys do if you do Facebook ads, whether you're targeting the desktop and the mobile or just the mobile. But, you know, statistically, people are mainly looking at stuff on mobiles than desktop these days. And here's a last couple, and this might put you off a little bit or feel like you're up against it, like you're head's beating against a wall. But I would encourage you to take this information as a, I guess, what am I trying to say? Know where to focus, okay? So I'll explain this in a minute. I'm just going around in circles. So, because I know what you guys are thinking, and I've already told you this stat yesterday, but I'm going to say it again, and there's another one I've got for you. The average average organic reach is only 5.5%. So those of you with business pages, I mean, this is across the board. This works for personal profiles as well. Don't be fooled into thinking just because somebody is your friend that they get to see your stuff. They don't. Facebook's still got to choose what information they put in front of what people, and not all your friends. Could you imagine on the reverse side of that for you? How many Facebook friends do you have? Could you imagine if Facebook put in your news feed every post from every single one of your Facebook friends? So those of you that chase friends and you've got, thousands of friends, let's say you got 4,000 Facebook friends or 5,000, you maxed out. And Facebook put every single one of those 5,000 people gave you their content for that day. What if they're posting 3 to 4 times a day? So 5,000 times, a couple of times a day if they're active, and that all hits your newsfeed. Like, it's not everybody sees everybody's stuff, obviously. Okay, so it's the same for personal profiles. Not everybody sees everybody's stuff. But think about that for a minute. The average now of organic reach, so think about the people on your business page and how many people are there. And you're going to get about 5.5% sort of organic reach of the people that are there. Okay, so it's not a lot. So this could put you off, or, oh my gosh, it's just too hard. It's like, no, you need to be smarter about your business. You need to be intentional about your content. You need to have a content creation plan. You need to get targeted fans and followers. You just need to be smarter about your business because of these kind of things. If you just whack anything up and you're just going through the motions, you're just going live for the sake of going live, you're just posting because you've been told you should post 2 to 3 times a day, and that's a good thing to do, then if you're just going through the motions on social media, you're going to get lost and you're not even going to get the maximum organic reach. So intention, and really learning how to maximize your, your business page. Okay. The other one though, the average there's 2 more. So the average engagement rate. So wouldn't you love if you got, let's say Facebook's put your content in front of 100 people. Would it not be awesome if 100 people engaged with it? So you got 100% engagement rate, or you asked a question and 100% of the people that post got put in front of, 100% commented back. Would that not be awesome? Here's the reality, statistically. So the average engagement rate on a post. So when you are super critical of yourself, going, no one engages with my stuff, no one interacts with my stuff, I really want you to take this into consideration, because it may not be you. Okay? You've got to obviously evaluate your content for what it is, but the average engagement rate on a post is 3.6%. Not a lot. So take that into consideration when you are being super, super, super critical of yourself on engagement rate. Doesn't mean people aren't looking. Everybody's looking. Everybody's watching on social media. There are so many people that watch in social media in silence. They're watching. They're looking at your content. They're going to your pages sometimes, snooping on what you're doing. Like, people are always watching. They may not always engage, but it doesn't mean people aren't watching. So engagement on a post is 3.6%. But what I would encourage you to take from my next stat is how important live video is. So the average engagement rate on videos is 6.13. So it's kind of double that of a post. So when I harp on videos and do video challenges and try to help you guys get better at live video, it's for very good reason. It's where we get exposure. It's, and where we get the most interaction and engagement. And statistically, that's what they're telling us here. So 3.6% on a post, but 6.13% engagement on a video. So we get more engagement. Well, you'll grow into that. You may not get it now because you're brand new and you're building up a brand and you're just starting out in content, and you've just entered this world of not only maybe, network marketing or digital marketing or whatever it is that you're into, but now you're actually trying to learn social media and Facebook ads and all the rest of it. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is such a huge learning curve. So you've got to earn the trust of people to engage. And I said this on a video last week, give people a reason to follow you. Like, look in the mirror and say, what's the reason someone would follow me on social media? What am I providing? What am I giving to my people? And when you do that and you're clear and you've got the right target market sitting there that want to listen to what it is you have to provide, then those rates will go up. So it's so important that you're really intentional and you understand this kind of stuff. Not that it's gloom and doom that we don't get much organic reach or interaction or engagement, but to use that information and take it for what it is and put more effort into your business, and being one of those people that is intentional, has the right people on their page, has a content creation plan, does go live 3 days a week because nobody else is. Okay? So is this helpful? I'm sure it scares you to some degree, but we need to know this stuff because we need to know what we're dealing with. And some of you need to step up and be more intentional with what you're doing, because your information could just be getting lost. Okay. Jan, yes, stats very interesting. Janet, actually quite interesting. Olive, yes, interesting. Shauna, love the stats. Who's a numbers person? I like numbers. Some people are, some people aren't. This is awesome. All the info wrapped up by you. How could it get any better? Glad you liked it, Susan. Every 5 posts in my newsfeed is an ad. Well, there you go. So Jan's seeing ads all the time. So you're high on the target list and, obviously on mobile. So, yeah, wow. And some of these stats. Thanks for explaining stories. A friend heard it differently and confused me. So I'm not sure what the friend heard, but stories are awesome. Use stories. You want the new features for stories. They're going to give us more features. You can put GIFs, you can put music, you can put dancing bunnies if you want. There's so many cool, interesting visual things that you can do with Facebook stories. And when there's new features, you want them. But unless you're using the tool, you won't get the features. So use them, use them, use them. Your goal, just to sort of wrap that up, Michael, your goal would be minimum. And I don't always meet this minimum, guys, because I just forget or I'm too busy or whatever. Your goal would be 1 story every 24 hours. So the ring that I showed you before, the ring is always blue. When you've got an active story, the ring around your profile picture is blue. So if somebody's got a blue ring, they've got an active story. So mine was white on my business page because the last one I did was a couple of days ago. So that's gone. So if possible, you always want something sitting in your stories, but if you can do multiple stories, even better. Hi, Emma. How are you? 100% would be awesome. Wouldn't it, Jan? Wouldn't it? We would love that. Edith, it does scare me a bit. So don't let it scare you. I don't say it to scare you. I say it to you to, well, yeah, Gloria said it. Oh, she's back. Can see your profile. Reality check. It is a reality check with what you're dealing with. So don't let it scare you off the platform or anything like that. Just get better at it, because there's so many people there that are not listening to this information. They're not realizing what they're dealing with. They're just doing 3 or 4 posts, whenever, and a live every now and again, and they don't have consistency, or they don't know their brand, or they don't have a content creation plan. That's all the stuff that we'll go through in the business bootcamp. For those of you in my coaching community, we'll put a bit of a plan together for you guys. But it's just to highlight to you guys, if you want to build a business on social media, you have to take it seriously. If you want to build like a 6-7 figure business through the internet, then you have to kind of treat it like a business and put the intentional effort and strategy in around it. Yeah. Lynn's a numbers person and a good information. Thanks, Helen. No worries. Now I've got to stop talking this long. I need to break down my lives or something like that and do it over 2 days. I never think I'm going to talk this long, but I always do. But irrespective of that, hopefully you found the information useful. I just don't mean to keep you this long, but all good, all good. So yeah, I hope that's been meaningful for you. And, this is just a little bit of an eye-opener and something to keep a check-in with, and more importantly, to be strategic about what you're doing with your business online. Keep up your skill level, have a tight brand, have a good content creation strategy, and remember, at the end of the day, give people a reason to follow you. Because if you don't, they won't stay. They may get there, but they're not going to stay. So give people a reason to follow you. I'll leave you with that thought for today. So thank you for joining with me. Those of you that were live or catching the replay later, it's always awesome to have you guys here. I truly, truly appreciate you guys being here and being part of the community. You're just amazing. So I will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Okay, bye guys.